Okay, I'm going to review Class Act from 1992. Starring Kid and Play. When you think of Kid and Play, you think of the House Party movies. I like the House Party movies too. I've seen 1 and 3. I don't think I've seen House Party 2. I could be wrong. But my favorite movie of theirs will always be a Class Act. It's sort of it's sort of a tale. It's kind of a remake of The Prince and the Pauper. Just say proper. I'm sorry, The Prince and the Pauper. Mark Twain's the Prince and the Pauper. If you know that story, you know what I'm talking about. But it's hold on. I gotta get my drink started. I always get nervous when I do these videos, but like I said, Class Act, that's my favorite film of Kid and Play. Of course, everybody loves their House Party movies, but I like Class Act better. That's just me. Even though House Party was R-rated, Class Act was PG-13. But let's get started. Kid plays Duncan Penderhughes, a straight A student, a nerd, and Kid's real name is Christopher Reed. Play's real name is Christopher Martin. He plays troublemaker Blade Brown, and he's in jail, and he gets released if he can go back to school and get good grades. I like the scene where he's forced to get a haircut, and he's screaming like a little baby. It's so funny. But they bump into each other, and while they were walking in the hall, and I think Blade pushed the Duncan and was like, "Get off me!" I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen that movie. But that's a secretary. Meant to say, the office lady. She was looking. The secretary, whatever. She was looking at both of their profiles, and when Blade pushed Duncan, he pushed him so far into the office that he bumped into the secretary lady, and their pictures got switched to each other's their different profiles. For example, Duncan's picture landed on Blade Brown's profile, and vice versa. I like the scene where the principal meets them. He gives Duncan, who he thinks is Blade, hell. He just yells at him, and when Blade comes to the where Blade comes to the office, the principal thinks he's Duncan, and he's telling him go out there and get it, and Blade's like, what? So they go to Blade. He goes to the advanced classics. I'm sorry, the advanced classes. And the teacher, played by Rhea Perlman. Rhea Perlman. Sorry, let me. I apologize. I meant to say Rhea Perlman. She. You might know her from Cheers. And she was married to Danny DeVito. I don't know if they're still together. I heard they got separated, but you know how it is in Hollywood, celebrities and marriages. Anyway, Rhea Perlman, she plays Miss Simpson. She's really flirting with Blade Brown's. Blade Brown. She's really flirting with Blade Brown's character. It's almost like she's got jungle fever. But we also meet one of the students, played by Ellen, played by. Sorry, I was trying to pronounce her name right. The student in Miss Simpson's class, Ellen, played by Karen Parsons. I'm sorry, you know how my mind is, but Karen Parsons, who you probably might remember, who played Hilary Banks in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She falls for Blade Brown. She falls for Blade Brown, who she thinks is Duncan Penderhughes. Meanwhile, where Duncan, who everybody thinks he's Blade Brown, he goes into one of those behavior classes, and he bumps into what's her character's name? Demetra, played by Allison Rogers, or no, I can't pronounce her first name. I'm sorry. Give me a minute. I think her name is Elisa Rogers. Anyway, when he bumps into her chest, the bully played by what was the bully's name? The character's name. I write small, so I can even hardly read my. Oh yeah, Wedge. I can hardly read my words sometimes, but Wedge, the bully, played by Lamont Johnson. He gives Duncan a hard time, who he thinks is Blade Brown. No, Dougie Doug's character, Popsicle. I like Dougie Doug in this movie. He plays this crazy character named Popsicle, always sucking on the sucker. But he thinks, Duncan is Blade Brown, and you better not give him a hard time. He'll kill you. Speaking of Wedge the bully, I like his scene music. Every time when he's in a scene or a movie, you hear that dun 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 dun. He's like, Blade Brown, your ass is mine. I like his scene music in this movie. I thought it was cool. I like the scene where Duncan, who everybody still think is Blade Brown, when he has to play football, he kicks the ball so good. The coach says, "You're going out for football. You're going to be on my team." When he make not touchdown, when he kicks it through. I can't think of it right now. I'm sorry. I'm stupid, When he kicks the field goal, yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to review the whole film. I'm just going to talk about some of my favorite scenes in the movie. Like, I like the scene where Duncan's dad, I forget the actor's name, but you probably might know him in the show Designing Women. He played Anthony, and he was in the Mannequin movies as Hollywood, that gay, snazzy set designer or whatever. But he plays Duncan's dad in his movie, and he thinks his son is gay. When he sees the scene where Blade was trying to make Duncan sort of look like a bad boy image, he was, fits in his high top, making them dreads, and somehow his dad was thinking his son might be gay, and it's just, you gotta watch the movie to know what I'm talking about. So it's really Blade Brown trying to teach Duncan to be cool. So he's got to be like him, and if he doesn't act like him, he's going to kick his ass. But anyway, Demetra, Wedge's girlfriend, starts to fall for Duncan, who she thinks is Blade Brown. I like where Blade Brown gives Duncan Penderhughes his ride home, that red lowrider truck. I love that scene. And Duncan, he gives Blade Brown his bike. He's like, "You got a bike? We got a bike." However he says that. But Wedge, the bully, also works for this drug dealer, who played Tommy on the show, Martin. How you pronounce his name? Thomas Milkford. He played Mink, the head drug dealer that Wedge is working for. And he tells him if he doesn't sell those drugs or whatever, or he doesn't become the school bully, or if nobody fears him, or if they start to fear Blade Brown, he's gonna kill him or cause him some serious brain damage. But later on, Pauly Shore is in this movie. He plays who does Pauly Shore play? Julian Thomas. He does his Weasel character. Ow! I used to love Pauly Shore back in the day when he used to do that Weasel character. But I like later on where Wedge kidnaps Duncan, who he thinks is Blade Brown, and Popsicle and Blade's friends. One of them was Brother Man on the show Martin too. Brother Man. But they track down Mink. They tried to save Duncan's life. And I like where they get lost, and when it was daytime, this happened at nighttime, but the next day they were still trying to find them. All the kids, Demetra, Blade, and Ellen was talking on the phone, and they had to go get Duncan, and their parents were still talking. They didn't hung up the phones, except for Popsicle was trying to get, "Uncle, but get your hearing aid. You can't find your hearing aid." I'm sorry, I like that movie so much. I remember that scene. So they chase him down. They eventually get they save Duncan from Meek and his goons. And my favorite scene of this movie, in this entire movie, is where they go to the wax museum to try to lose him. It's so, you gotta see that scene. It's just so funny. They eventually find out. I mean, the girls find out which is which. Where Popsicle said, "You're Duncan Peter Hughes and you're Blade Brown." Oh man, I like the scene where Popsicle, he was mad. "You're not my friend. You're a genius. I can't believe I was hanging out with a genius, man. I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up, man." He keeps rambling on. It's so funny. I like some of the wax museums where they have like the show Taxi, Danny DeVito's character, Christopher Lloyd, and they have the statues of Louis De Palma, Reverend Jim of Taxi, and they have the Three Stooges, which is one of my favorite statues. I like where Wedge was trying to find. No, he was naming some of the statues. Looked at, so I can't remember what he said, but whose name he said. But Meat's character just slaps him. I think he said Chuck Woolery. That's not Chuck Woolery, stupid. It's Colonel Sanders when he smacks him in the head. I always remember that scene. They remind me of so much of the Black Three Stooges, where Wedge gets hit on the head and Meat just slaps him again. And while Blade and the others, Blade, Brown, Duncan, and the others, they were trying to run from them. Meek starts shooting up the wax museum. They go to different places. I like when they go to the horror theme of the wax museum. They have those tombstones moving up and down like you're in the Halloween haunted house. That is so funny. I like the scene where when they were in science class and Duncan, who's pretending to be Blade Brown, they were doing, they were dissecting a frog. And Wedge was walking over to Demetra. "I thought you was going to play with my frog." And she says, "Your frog is no longer available." No, she says, there's a new tadpole in town. And Popsicle comes over to him and says, he puts the frog in Demetra's face. He said, I thought you was going to play with my frog." You got to watch the movie to know what I'm talking about. It's so funny. Well, what else happens in the movie? Oh, when Ellen wants to have sex with Blade Brown, who she thinks is Duncan. For some reason, I think she says, "Let's make bacon. Let's make bacon." And they were trying to have sex in the car. Oh, no, the lowrider truck. There's so many hilarious scenes Sorry. There is so many hilarious scenes in this movie. You just gotta watch it for yourself. It's an old movie. I love old movies. I always watch them and prefer them now than the new movies of today. Maybe it's just the films I grew up with. I don't know, maybe. But Class Act is still a funny movie. Later on, they eventually get caught, the kids in the wax museum, but Blade Brown and Duncan, they get released and they have to compete on the game show. Their school wins. And Demetra, who finds out, Blade is really Duncan, she kisses him anyway. And Ellen does the same with Blade Brown. She says, "Shut up, Blade Brown," in French, kisses him. The ending is where, Duncan and Demetra were having sex in his room, and his dad was hearing noises. I'm sure he thought he was having his son was having sex with a man, and when she saw the two of them having sex, he was laughing and he was so happy. He says, "My wonderful gifted son, he's not gay." That's not what he says, but you know what I mean. Anyway, check out Class Act from Warner Brothers. It's now on DVD finally. This has been on DVD, I think, in 2014, but it came out on DVD in the early 2000s. But it's a good movie. I love House Party 2, but I also love Class Act. That's my favorite Kid and Play movie. Anyway, that's it. I'm out.